Hello there, Cancer. Johnny Alchemy here. Thank you again for joining me on my channel. We're going to be doing your January monthly reading for January 2024 to kick off the new year. So let's pull out some cards, see what you got. Again, this is going to be a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what does not, and understand these messages are here to help you raise your awareness so you can make the best choices to create the reality or outcomes that you want from your own life. Okay, so here. Okay, so here let's talk about your recent past, long-term past, etc. I think here, in terms of family life, wonderful cards here. We already got the two of the the 10 of Pentacles and also the 10 of Cups right here. So a lot of good stuff in terms of family life that I see. There's something here where it tells me about, your family is just doing well financially, emotionally. But even if those of you who do not have family life right now, you could just be in a place of abundance and just emotional joy and fulfillment right now. That's kind of what I see for you, because it's really saying that you created abundance with this, where it's almost like a legacy. For some of you, if you really are doing well in your job, being able to save some money, invest in something, etc., buy a house, all that type of stuff. Also, the 10 of Cups as well, we're talking about just true emotional fulfillment, kind of like a happily ever after for some of you. I see here where you can kind of see how the universe has come together to make this kind of happen for you. So it's really saying some really good things right now in terms of your recent past, or things that you may now be going through as you're going into January 2024 to start the new year. We also got the 9 of Pentacles here reversed. So here it's really telling me, because there's a lot of good stuff here. I don't think this is bad at all. Not that, there really is bad cards and tarot, to be totally honest, but we just to really say, it's like, I think you've really learned how to reinvest in yourself, learning how to find self-worth and pride in whatever it is that you do, maybe cutting out the things that really have not been giving you the fruits of your labor, where you've been investing maybe in some things and you realize, those things aren't worth it anymore. I have to focus on myself, do things that are right by me, for me, etc. And I think really by doing so, it really has given you that 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups feeling, where things are starting to go very well for you now. And for those around you, your relationships, friends, family, whatever it may be, whatever situation you may be in. So now let's talk about your present. So here we got we got two major arcana. We got the Hanged Man. We got the Wheel of Fortune. So here it's really telling me, from what I can see here, we also got the Knight of Swords here reversed. So here it's really telling me just to don't rush forward. I think that you've come to this full cycle fulfillment type of feeling. Don't rush forward to the next thing. Don't rush forward to the next project, to the next whatever. I think the universe is telling you really just to slow down a little bit, to slow down and to really take advantage of your present moment, because life is always going to keep us changing. As I say that, I'm going to pull out the Wheel of Fortune here reversed. I think it's saying not just, that it's something where you really have to be aware of those types of things, to understand this is a moment for me to be happy, because as I said, life will always move us forward. Not to say it's going to go happy to sad, but that's how it goes. Same thing when they say when you're at rock bottom, the only place you can go is up. That's because life moves us forward. So it's really asking you to be very present to where you are right now. If this is still this abundant feeling of joy and security or health or whatever it is, those feelings, to be very aware of them, because life changes. I even say this because of the Hanged Man reversed. This is right in the middle of your reading right here. So this is telling me there is a very necessary pause that kind of needs to happen. Maybe you need to see your life and to acknowledge it, and to acknowledge the good things that are there, because maybe things are going to be turning for some of you, talking about this Wheel of Fortune, especially in the reversed. So here, really, it's saying, take advantage of your present moment. We in this very fast world where we're always trying to achieve the next goal, the next thing, moving all the time, being very busy, being very fast paced, is hard for us to lose sight of, the joy that's around us right now. Because here I really see, for some of you, talking about some of these other cards down the road, talking about future and outcomes, that there could be a big turning point coming in January for you. Because I said that Wheel of Fortune, it's in the reverse. It's saying, the good times are here, and now there might be some struggles coming up. And just to be careful of that, take your time to really love what you're doing right now. Take it all in, because, life continues. Things change as always. That is the deal with life. And I say that because we have the Tower. It's crazy to see all that joy and all that security and stability, and to see a Tower moment, and this comes right underneath that this couple here in the Ten of Cups. You see a couple falling, you see another couple and happy family here. So here, be careful. There are certain things where we're talking about, especially relationships, the Two of Cups here reversed as well. So here it really is saying, make use of the time that you have now. There's a lot of things here to consider. If things are going to be changing down the road, if things are starting to get rocky as you're coming into the new year, if relationships are starting to, seem like they're falling apart a little, or not getting the nurture or care that they need in a certain sense, I also see here we got the King of Wands here reversed. So loss of power and control for some things, if there is a Tower moment where separation happens, or there's a certain loss that has to happen, because sometimes that is just what life has in store for us. Sometimes there are things we cannot control at all, but life has a purpose for it, and we won't know until we reach it. But, until then, it can become very challenging and difficult. So we can deal with this like King of Wands energy, where we can kind of feel like we lose control of our direction, our focus, just control of our life sometimes when a big Tower moment comes. We can lose our relationships in a certain sense as well. So here it's really telling me, like, I have a feeling with this Hanged Man reversed, even if this has happened to you already, for some of you Cancers out there, where you've lost someone and has caused, like, families to break up, relationships to end, where it's really forcing you to to pump the brakes a little bit, and to really force yourself to be where you are at right now. With that Knight of Swords, it's almost saying, like, I have a feeling for some of you, like, if you have been all through this whole big story right here, where you've gotten a lot of abundance and joy, and then things are starting to fall apart right now, it's easy to just run away and distract yourself with something else. I have a feeling here it's the universe is saying, time has moved forward. Things are always going to change. That is the only constant in life is change. That's the paradox and truth of life. The only constant is change. So here it's really asking you to bask in this change, to stand strong in this change. I see this with the Hanged Man right here, because it's really trying to teach you some type of lesson, and I can't say what that lesson is. I really can't, because it seems like a very big jump from, abundance and joy to a Tower moment of possible loss, and loss of direction or focus, ambition in a certain sense too, where you could feel very lethargic as well because of the loss of a loved one, separation, breakup, whatever it may be. But sometimes with that Wheel of Fortune, hard to say, but sometimes it's just meant to happen that way, even if it is very hard things we have to deal with. And so it's really asking you, life, with that Hanged Man moment, to be present, because there's something to learn. I almost see here, even though with that Tower moment, it's like asking you to really look at the good things on top of the bad. If you lose someone and separate from someone, even if you separate in a very civil way, it could hurt like hell. You can choose to be adults and just do it in the most proper way possible, but don't let that hurt overshadow the good things that have come from it from the past. With that Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, you know, there was a lot of joy, a lot of abundance to be had. But, you know, it's a fine line, you know. I think it's kind of asking you to don't forget those things that you know, brought you joy. It may bring those things that may have brought you pain now, but they brought you just as much joy in the past as well. So there's a certain perspective here, I think, with that Hanged Man that has to be considered from both sides of the coin, if that makes sense. Seeing such an extreme turn of events, if you will. Let's pull out some cards for clarification. Okay. Here, Judgment. Another major arcana card. Talking about soul purpose. You know, a soul's purpose, if that makes sense, you know. The Judgment card is almost like, you know, it really is that, like, in the Bible, they almost say, like, you know, like during the apocalypse, you know, the end of days, you hear like the trumpets calling, you know. I get that feeling with this where it's kind of saying, you know, it's like a forewarning or something, you know, where something is going to happen. Obviously looking at that Tower moment where there's going to be a big change or a big disruption of some kind. But understand it is the destiny of your soul to go through this, you know, because as you can see here, we have all these people rejoicing at the bottom of that trumpet. You know, these people are being reborn and renewed, revived in a certain sense, you know, to their spiritual calling, that call of action from the universe. So here is kind of saying, you know, just as much of good things have happened in your life and so much joy and happiness has happened, you know, with that 10, but it's showing that it's completed its cycle. You know, there's only so far that it could have gone. And now it's time to let go of certain things, memories of the past, so that you can kind of embrace and go through what you need to go through in order to be born anew. We got the Ace of Wands as well. Again, it's like this gift from the universe, and it may not seem that way because fire, you know, fire is kind of like being put through that test of fire, to be purified in it, you know, to be tested and trialed, if you will. But it is a new adventure, you know, there is something new that is going to spring up from this fire, you know, as I said, being revived and purified into something new. And it's coming from the universe. That hand comes from the cloud. It's kind of saying, you know, from this darkness, I'm going to show you a new light. You know, here's this torch, this divine torch of some kind that will give you light into this darkness. So I can almost see that here with that Tower moment, as you may lose certain things down the road because maybe it's meant to happen that way, unfortunately. You will gain new insights. You will gain new knowledge, a new wisdom, a new lesson from this pain and from this loss. We got Four of Pentacles as well, earthly power. I think here, whenever I see this 4, you know, it's really saying to practice your power of control. As I said, with that King of Wands energy, they're saying that, you know, you could lose power, you could lose control of, you know, a situation, of yourself, of your emotions even. That will make you feel kind of listless and restless, you know, maybe not sure of what direction to go or to take or how to handle something, you know. But as I said, he's holding a wand right there. This is the wand the universe wants to give you, you know, in terms of if you feel lost, here's going to be a new light and a new wand to guide you. You feel a loss of power, here's earthly power, you know. Take advantage of what you have control over and just start with that, you know. And when we lose things, it could be hard to control our mind and to control our emotions. But in terms of earthly power, you still have control over your body and your actions, you know. You can do things to get yourself out of that headspace. Go for a walk, you know, talk to a friend, anything like that. Or to get you out of that emotional space as well, you know, if it gets too deep or too dark from this loss of any kind, you know. So let's pull out some more cards for clarification. Okay. Yeah. 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 Oh, I love that. Okay. Okay, that's going to confirm a lot of things. Okay, first of all, Vesica Pisces, you know, this is talking about this is the foundation for if you are familiar with sacred geometry, the seed of life and the flower of life. This is the the basis of it. It's the fact that we have to, our conscious has to separate itself from itself so it can view itself. I know that's a lot to think about, but if that makes sense, it needs to come outside of itself so it's not so personal anymore. It's more objective. And by doing so, by expanding your consciousness beyond what you know and what you've experienced, and to look at it more objectively, it creates this space in the middle for something new to be reborn. So I almost see here, it's almost like the circle of good things that have happened in the past and a circle of possible conflicts in the future. And then you have to find this space in the middle right here for a new reality to be born. You know what it's like when things are good. And maybe you know what it's like when things are extremely bad. But you have to find that middle in between where you can find that safe spot, that peace of mind between the two of those things, where it makes sense, where it's not just one or the other. Because then you are susceptible to whatever it is that it isn't. If you think it's all good things, then when something bad happens, it could destroy you like that, And if you're so caught up in bad things or negativity, when good things come, you could be so caught up that you don't even want to realize or accept it either, So you have to find that middle ground where, you allow both to exist in peace. Create space. What did I just say in between there? You need to create that space in between right there, and that tower moment, as I said before, sometimes things are meant to leave our life, and that's just how it is, however difficult that may be. But it is there to create space for new things to thrive and for new things to exist in your life. If it does lead to a breakup of some kind or loss of someone, that ultimately it is there to make sure that whoever is supposed to take up that space is meant there for you in your life, and it's not meant for someone who isn't there, who isn't in alignment with what you want or your destiny. And finally, I just love seeing this card. This one comes into the row of that tower. Nothing has gone wrong. Love to see that. It's really saying that, we have to accept life's rules sometimes. Life will always move forward. And sometimes that means that, things change, even the good things, But as I said, with that Hanged Man, we have to be very present in the good things that we have, so that when it is time for those things to change and to be let go, we're not holding on to them as tightly, and we can kind of let them go with peace to know that you've made the most of it. So here, even though there could be a change for some of you during the month of January, understand that this is not something that is you, that nothing has gone wrong. Like, this is just the way life works. And that's a hard pill to swallow too, because that is sometimes out of our control. So let's pull out one more card. Let's see. Discipline. This card keeps coming up a lot. I really think here is discipline, honestly, to really embody that message. I think that's really what it is, the message that this is just how the way it is. It is what it is sometimes. And that can be a very liberating or saddening expression, But I think it's going to take discipline to really understand, this isn't something that I caused. This is sometimes the way that life is, and there's nothing I can do except to just accept it and learn how to move on, So I think that's going to take a lot of discipline for some of you, whoever this resonates with, to really just understand that saying, it is what it is, and it is tough to swallow when it is something that you really enjoyed or truly loved in the past, and you have to let it go. So that's kind of what I see here for January 2024 for some of you Cancers out there. If there is something that's been in the works where people will have to be let go of your life, understand that you make the most of it while you can, and to understand for some of you, this was not something that was your fault. Sometimes it's just the way that life has to go. So I wish you a lot of healing for those of you who may have to go through this, because there's a lot of joy and there's a lot of change in this reading. So I just want to wish you the easiest of times with this, and I want to wish you as much healing as possible. So again, if this reading did resonate, make sure to click that like button. Leave me a comment if you wish. Would love to keep in touch and to know what y'all are going through. And also consider subscribing to my channel for future readings, because, you know, would love to do more of these with you guys. But that's kind of what I see right now for any of you Cancers out there. Wishing you a lot of love, and thank you again for watching, and I appreciate you so much. So have a happy new year, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.